for me, culture is really about the ability to bring people together and to really pull out the success through others, right? The ability to lead each other and lead your group, whether you're the CEO or your administrative assistant, right? Everybody looks at the company as they have a certain set and certain responsibility. Everybody's here to work towards one goal. Everybody's here to watch each other win. So we really put that as a baseline of our group and our foundation.
All righty, this is super exciting. Welcome back to Are You Winning? I'm Coach Craig Zuber, and I am here with the one and only Jim Roche out of Philadelphia. This is going to be awesome. Jim got into the industry right around 2016, decided to join KW right around 2018, I believe, and last year sold right at 220 million. Congratulations, Jim. How you been, man?
Thanks, Craig. It's great. It's great to be here. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I've been a long time listener, so it's great to be on the side, and everything's been great. Appreciate it. Off to a, rocking and rolling start here in 2023. I've got I got our Philadelphia Eagles at a Super Bowl this upcoming weekend. So life is good out here in Philadelphia. How's everything with you? Good?
Yeah, it's really great, except for the Philadelphia Eagles are in the Super Bowl and the Dallas Cowboys. Outside of that,
I had to tee that up for you.
So we can transition right out of that, Jim. How about we just go into what the heck? What are you winning at, man? Fill us in. 220 last year. What on earth are you winning at?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd appreciate it. And this is, this is something I take a look back and reflect on quite frequently. I think it's very something as a leader, CEO of my team here in Philadelphia. It's something I reflect on and think about quite frequently. What am I doing great? What am I not doing great? And how can I improve on that? How can I continue to improve on that for my team? Really for me, Craig, to be completely transparent with you, as you kind of said, in 2018, I joined Keller Williams. I was a part-time agent licensed at a competitor brokerage, and really wanted to kind of figure out my own path and figure out my journey. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I was working through multiple different sales roles and, was with two companies, worked an inside sales role, an outside sales role. And I just knew I wanted to be a business owner. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know which path I wanted to go. And flash forward now here, walking into 2023, I was able to be real specific and purposeful with my actions. I thought clearly and concisely about what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, what goals I wanted to accomplish, the impact I wanted to make, because I always have been a people person. That's how I've been. I grew up in an Irish Catholic family in Northeast Philadelphia. I've had a Philadelphia zip code my whole entire life besides 4 years. So when I went to Penn State, I'm born and bred. That's how I've been. Hard work, quality, relationships, and trust, truthfully. So I knew I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to lead people, but I had to figure out the path. Fast forward to me getting licensed, got licensed. I wanted to start flipping houses. I realized, hey, you know what? To flip houses, you need money. I didn't have much of that. So I had to pivot. And, the next thing you can do with your real estate license, truthfully, is start selling houses. So, got into the business, slowly started growing things. And what I really started to realize is I started to enjoy the process and the sales process, but I really started to enjoy the business building part of it. I always loved the art of a deal. I've always loved the negotiation. I feel like I've been a salesman my whole entire life. But for me, as I approached out of 2018, 2019, 2020, and I started seeing slow growth, for me, I got more pleasure out of my agents and my team members winning than I did out of myself winning and the team winning and everything like that. It started to slowly turn to be always fully focused on the agent. And for me, I doubled down on that. So that was it. I knew exactly what I had. I knew what I could do, and I knew what I could pour into people. And so for me, what I'm winning at, truthfully, coach, is it's culture. That's what it really comes down to for me. My whole organization, it's based on it. We're now up to a total org chart of about 40 people in my organization within, just about 3 to 4 years there. So I've seen quick growth and constant growth, but the one thing that's been the foundation of my business and has always carried us through tough times at any moment has always been our culture. And that's the foundation of our group. So I would definitely say that's what, culture and team building is definitely what I'm winning at right now.
Hey there, I'm Jeremy Herman, CEO and co-founder of ClarityNOW. Listening to this podcast means that you're committed to your career and to growing your business. You're the reason why we created ClarityNOW. You see, ClarityNOW is the real estate software designed to transform real estate agents into business owners. Now, being a great real estate agent is an entirely different skill set than being a great business owner. That's where ClarityNOW can help. ClarityNOW is powerful because some of the industry's top real estate coaches built it. We know what insights as coaches top performers need to grow their business. So, do you have a business plan based on your net profit goals? Do you know how you're performing against your quarterly goals? Do you generate a P&L each month? Do you have the best tools to help your team members hit their goals? Are you managing your company's pipeline and conversion reports? Do you have the data that you need at your fingertips to run a successful business? ClarityNOW can solve all these problems. Visit us at www.claritynowre.com and schedule a personalized tour to learn more. Mention this ad and we'll throw in 1 month for free. Congratulations on your success, and let's take your business to the next level together.
So can you just give us a little bit about what culture means to you, or what is it exactly?
Absolutely. So culture means a lot to a lot of people. I think that's the one benefit, one great thing about it. What it means to me is probably when it doesn't, it's probably not what it means to you, Craig. So, for me, culture is really about the ability to bring people together and to really pull out the success through others, right? The ability to lead each other and lead your group, whether you're the CEO or your administrative assistant, right? Everybody looks at the company as they have a certain set and certain responsibility. Everybody's here to work towards one goal. Everybody's here to watch each other win. So we really put that as a baseline of our group and our foundation, from training and education, from collaboration, accountability, you name it. We do everything here as a group. We're a little atypical in that setting as far as, everybody, real estate, a lot of times it's an individualized business. And, even if you're on a team, you're still individually working a client. We take a completely different approach here across my divisions and across our company. We like multiple agents working with people. We want them to collaborate. We want them to expand, because what they do is they learn from each other. They strengthen each other's skills, but they also gain confidence. So our younger agents are learning from our top agents. Our top agents are learning from our leaders. It's just a full, full round table of straight culture and collaboration that really brings us in and allows us to, kind of push each other up to the next level. So it's the foundation of our group and the baseline of our business, and, definitely the number one reason for our success, for sure.
So do you require people to be in the office to participate? Are there certain things that you have a standard on, that you set that expectation basically on day one, so they know what they're getting into, and that's the culture of the organization?
So it's a good question, Craig. And that's something that I've really built, right? I think one of the biggest things that I've learned and impacted me over time is understanding how my business has changed from day one to where it is day now. I know Gary was just recently talking about this on his podcast as well, but, he's talking about change and how that, affects the marketplace. And that the fact is that businesses change. No business is set. You don't have the same business model on day one that's going to carry through forever. So you have to make the adjustments. And one of the things that we saw, truthfully, Craig, is after COVID was we noticed the culture throughout the entire real estate industry, honestly, throughout the country, really, really take a major hit. And one thing that I made certain of, and I made a focus to do, is I wanted to be in front of my groups at all times. I mean, we were working together on Zoom. We had check-ins all the times during COVID. This is when we weren't able to get physical with each other, but we never lost that foundation of our culture, of who we are. So people were on Zooms together. People were working together, masterminding together, accountabilities, training, script play, role playing, et cetera. All that stuff was still done in the same way in which we do it in the office. We just weren't able to do it. So we saw our culture carry through COVID while we saw a lot of people suffer. So we just doubled down into it. So now it's not really we're real estate agents, right? We're realtors. We're on the move. I want my agents out there. If they're out on the streets, that means they're signing contracts, they're meeting people, they're showing homes. But the emphasis of everything is like, this is the place where your day starts or your day ends. Majority of our agents are in our office and in our building, once, twice, maybe 3 times a day. We really, really encourage it. Our new agents are basically glued to their desk for that time frame. So it's not something that we set. It's not a standard per se, but if you want to level yourself up and you want to see the growth that our agents have been seeing, it's one of those things that just naturally happens because of the culture, because they want to follow in the steps of the top agents. And that's exactly what the top agents did. So not a set real criteria, but definitely something to put an emphasis on, for sure.
Absolutely. It sounds like you have I had to summarize that, you have a culture of definitely getting the best that you possibly can out of your people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
When you focus on getting the very best out of your people and maximizing productivity, that's probably it. You probably have some level of culture of action / productivity, right? Because they're not a whole lot of fun without production.
Yeah, it's the
And
God honest truth. I think that's, yeah.
it's like, hey, we're creating a culture that you can step in here, maximize productivity, learn from others, learn from the best, talk about our mistakes.
Yep.
We're transparent, but we do everything that we possibly can to become the very best.
That's exactly it. It's the foundation of what we do. It's what we put, everything that we look at, Craig, here. We want to make sure that it works for our group here, or it will work for another group that we don't even know, based on our foundations and our core values, right? So we always are looking at that. We're trying to make sure that our systems can be streamlined across the whole entire country. Meaning what we do here in Philadelphia can be repeated and duplicated anywhere throughout the country, meaning from a culture basis all the way down to a contract management, all the way to a marketing, operational, et cetera. Everything has to be set the same way, because this is what's successful and this is what's worked. And what's great about it, and the reason why it's now becoming one of these things that's not a set standard, but just something that our agents do, is when they come in, they're understood that they're here for a reason. You know, we only have a certain amount of seats at the table, right? I only have so much time in my day. My directors and my ops, everybody, they only have so much time in a day. So the people we're pouring into need to be want to be poured into, right? They want to get that actionable result. They want us to be diving into them. So it's that real culture and collaboration up front. When they come in, they open the door. It's something that they carry with them forever. And, you know, truthfully for us, I mean, one of the biggest things that I held my hat on is we have 100% retention rate here. Never lost an agent. I've never lost an admin, an employee, anything along those lines. So since the company's really started back in 2018, everybody has been with me since day one. I'm not a fool. I know that is bound to change, and that's going to come. But what I really pride myself on is that it allows me to understand that what I'm doing here, you know, we have close to, we're over 40 people now, Craig. You know, it's not a small organization. It's not me and an assistant and 2 agents. You know, we're talking 40 people, 40 lives, 40 families. You know, so I take that with the utmost seriousness and utmost respect. And I, you know, like I said, I know that's never going to be the same. It's not going to stay that way forever, but whatever, if I can continue to keep that number as close as I can, that means I'm making an impact on everybody the way it should be. And that's really, really for us, you know, really for me personally, actually, what keeps me ticking. That's why I said, that's what, what's really changed in my life. So it's an exciting time. It's something I'm extremely proud of, but it's something to build off of as well.
You know, what's interesting about what I'm hearing you say, man, is in a lot of cases, what I see is maybe a revolving door, people leaving or things of that nature, right? And it's simple, right? People who repeat patterns lack clarity. It sounds to me like you are really clear.
I am. When I started growing my team, and the funny thing about it, Craig, was like I wasn't a member of 6 teams. I wasn't a member of all these teams. I didn't go out and R&D all these teams from personal experience and build my team. I did it from the outside's perspective in. I met with a lot of agents when I was building my team and building, my ideals around what I wanted this business to look like. I was interviewing agents. I was meeting with agents on teams. Well, why'd you go there and come to here? Like, I never got that. When I was a single agent, solo agent, I was on a haunted team. I was like, I thought you guys, like, everything was just kind of the same, right? You never really understood it. But once I started to understand, the baseline of everything was all about value. And once I figured out that the agents really, truthfully, at the end of the day, all they need is resources and value, encouragement, and accountability, everything just clicked for me. I mean, it was just at that point I understood and I knew what my agents wanted, right? I was an agent. I am an agent. I was a top performing agent. I knew the problems they had. I understood the challenges they had. But no one ever took the with them, at least, no one's ever taken the time to sit back and say, wait, how can we fix this process? Or how can we evaluate this? Or what can we add in? What can we subtract? So we pour into that. Our agents feel as physical. We're very physical into our agents, into their business planning. We're on top of them. We're meeting with them pretty much once a week here, staying accountable on their goals, guiding them there. And, we're just providing a ton of value. And that's the biggest thing I'm clear on. And I always make sure we know we're staying on top of making sure the culture's there. But the foundation of the culture is making sure our agents are winning, our agents are succeeding, and they're staying and understanding the value. That's really it. So 1000% right on board with you there.
Yeah, it sounds like you just stayed curious. You stayed curious and you stayed with the heart of like what they actually, like what people or what agents actually needed. And instead of guessing, instead of assuming, instead of thinking, hey, this might be a great idea, why not just stay curious and open and go pick the brains of ones that have been there before, and just tell me what it is. What are the 4 or 5 most important things that you need instead of assuming it? That's what I heard you just say, right? Like,
It's you're right there, dead on, Craig. I mean, for me, I was sitting in an office, and I was in at that time, I think we were top 10 of Keller Williams. Philly was top 10 office in Keller Williams, big office. I have agents like Mike McCann, David Snyder, Noah Ostroff there, right? These are in our office. I think we have 4 top 100 in Keller Williams teams there, just in that space. So, it's a competitive environment. Excuse me, a competitive environment, meaning, there's a lot of agents that have a lot of places to go. And the ones that stand out and the ones that don't have the revolving door, where people land there, they stay there. I saw a lot of the other teams, not saying the teams here at Keller Williams Philly, but the other teams where it's a revolving door. People are coming in and out. I never understood as a team leader why you would be pouring so much time, energy, and effort into those people and allow them to walk out the door. But what I realized is the reason they let them walk out the door was because they didn't give them any value. They didn't spend any time with them to actually build their business. The agent wasn't getting what they wanted. The agent was clear on what they wanted. The team leader was providing no value, was not providing any culture, wasn't providing any training, the stuff that agents come to teams for. So I got very clear and concise on that. I doubled down. I focused on it. I really put a value in the relationship between the CEO and the actual agent. And that we really just focused on that and doubled down on that. And that's, like I said, I think that's a big part of why our retention rate is where it is. And that's what we continue to chase after. It's just making sure our agents feel that all-encompassing experience and, are getting to be the best version of themselves.
well, if I was to summarize all of that since we started so far, it's like you really care and you're really clear.
I do. I think that's the important thing for me, Craig, is that at the end of the day, I really care. I think that's when people ask me what's the difference, it's that. Like, it's funny to say, and I'm a father too. I've been, married for close to 10 years. I'm 35 years old, so I've been married for a long time. I started my family. I get it. The sense of responsibility really comes from me. The fact that like my employees, my agents, they have children, that they put food on their table. I mean, that's enough motivating factor for me to put my head down and just make sure I'm always doing what I can. Like I take that sense of responsibility very, very seriously. These people have families. This is somebody's life. They're entrusting and partnering with you with their life. You only get one shot at it. And the way I look at it is I only get one shot on an impact that I'm going to make on them. And so I attack every single one the same exact way, the same exact time.
Yeah, I love it, man. You can't make right. Like you can't make people care. You cannot make people care. You can give people reasons to care, but you cannot make people care.
Exactly right. And that's the God honest truth. And that is so evident and so obvious when you look at somebody's business or some agents or some team leaders and where they are. You could tell the ones that care and the ones that don't. And you could tell by just looking at them, by looking at their business, but truthfully looking at their agents. We wear our JRRE gear around this city as proud as we possibly can. I think one of the coolest things in a city like Philadelphia, 1 million people plus around here, walking down the street and seeing your hat go the other way and have no idea who that person is, right? We're proud of who we are. The team's proud of who we are. And that's, once again, that's what they came into. That's the foundation. That's the culture they expected. And that's what we expect them to abide to. And, I think that's what makes the impact in their business so quickly. For us, our agents from year 1 to year 2, and then year 2 to year 3, typically on average are doubling their business year over year. So what we're seeing is when they're coming to us, we're instantly fixing things that they weren't getting somewhere else. That's the easy part. I love bringing new agents in because I'm like, well, we're going to double your business this year, double your business next year. You're going to love me for 2 years, but then my work really starts, right? Then it's the next step and the next challenge, right? So how do you take me from I don't want to say it's easy, but standard process, you go from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 10 to 20. Well, these agents are going from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20. They're moving, they're growing pretty rapidly. Being the CEO, being the leader, I've understood how growth works and how growth rapidly works, and how to really change yourself and your business to understand that, and change your lifestyle to understand that. But for us, we never really want to lose focus on the end game for our agents. We know where they want to go. We know that they're clear. As long as we remain clear and concise and have clarity on our objective and the goal at hand, it's a win-win partnership. That's really what it's about.
Well, look, Jim, you've had accelerated growth in a very, very short period of time. Is there one thing that you can think of that you've accomplished in that 5-year period of time that you didn't expect?
Everything, Craig. No, I don't want to say it like that, but I think one of the biggest humbling things is because I've grown so quickly. Like I can remember and distinctly remember the names on the board of the top 10, the top 5 leaderboard and the team members I was chasing, when I was a solo agent. And I remember seeing 80 million, 87 million, thinking to myself, wow, these guys, that's who I want to be when I grow up. That's what I want to be when I grow up. And, truthfully for me, I never expected to get here so quickly. And I think that's a credit a lot to my team. Truthfully, I think them coming in and, I'm only one person. I could only do so much, but I think my team came in and showed me the way that we could take things to the next level. But the growth that we've seen, I think is, a lot of people say unprecedented, things like that. For me, I don't really put it on there. It's very humbling. That's all the way I think about it. It's humbling, but once again, it's going back to that sense of responsibility. So it's that the remembering that the culture and there's everything that comes with it, with the culture and the retention rate and things like that. But for me, understanding the growth and reflecting on the growth, and then understanding that we can continue to grow on this path at this rate if we choose to, is definitely something I look back on and kind of makes me smile, makes me pretty excited for the future too.
Love it. What about a lesson? You got a tough lesson that you learned along the way?
I definitely, I could sit here, how long is this podcast, Greg? But for me, I truthfully think one of the biggest things, and it's funny, I brought it up today to my team when we were meeting in our team meeting, was understanding to correct your mistakes first before doing anything else, right? So for me, one of the biggest challenges I had having growth so quickly was that my business has been set up as a solo agent business for so long. Bank accounts, my bookkeepers, everything. So for me, when I started growing and I started seeing my income grow as well, I personally wasn't ready to handle that, right? Now, a lot of my income that was coming in was getting reinvested into the company and then things along those lines. But listen, I wasn't expecting to be able to have to learn how to be a CFO so quickly, right? And to be a COO so quickly. It was so being able to, kind of take a step back and look at what I did and what I accomplished. The biggest things that I'm having problems with now are items I could have fixed back in 2018 and 2019 and 2020, but I didn't fix it because I had my head down, so focused on one thing that I kind of let other things fall. So having a full understanding, a full grip on your business, tracking your numbers, your data, and knowing your P&L inside and out is definitely something that whether you're a solo agent, small team leader, or mega team leader, every single person needs to know it, understand it, and respect it, truthfully.
So is that same lesson, maybe it translates into, if you could give one piece of advice to someone starting out in real estate today, what would you give them? What would you tell them?
Know your numbers. Know your numbers. That's inside it. That's inside and out. The millionaire real estate agent gives you that blueprint, like right off the bat. I mean, you could come in day one and understand how to begin to build a system or a business around your numbers. The fact is, we read it, we get so excited because you see the numbers and the money and the clients and the leads, and you want to put your head down and go. None of that stuff means anything if you don't know your numbers and you don't know your profit and you don't know your expenses and you don't understand how to navigate the market and everything like that. That's now where I find myself leaning on or looking for my next mentor, growing with my next mentor. It's understanding now we have a business. How do we maintain it and how do we grow it? So knowing your numbers and understanding it is the first thing every CEO or every leader that I ask. That's what they say. So that's what I'll sit here and say to the guests here is understand your numbers and your margins, your profit and loss, and study it, master it.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to accomplish in the next 5 years, my friend?
It's funny we bring that here too. And it's funny you bring that up because that's kind of the journey that I'm currently on right now. I always plan my life and my business and everything in a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10-year basis. And the funny thing is the 10-year is just so out, so far out, but you keep chasing it. And the reason I like planning like that is because typically the way I've been seeing is I'm hitting my 5-year goals in 3 years, my 3-year goals in 1 year, and it's keeping me moving forward. So, for me, truthfully, right now, where we're at is we're just really looking forward to taking this company and actually hitting our goals and, hitting our objectives clearly and concisely for me. And then really next step along that is building our ancillary and focusing on our agents' wealth building. For me, I love making sure our agents are building wealth. I think that they're in a unique position that not many people get to be in as far as understanding the real estate world and being able to act and work and live in it every single day. Real estate, they're not making any more of it, right? If anything else, it's going away. So we want to make sure, I think that we put a big focus on our agents, having good wealth building plans and putting a wealth building cycle together. So for me, my next 5 years, Craig, if you could ask me if I look back and see what's a win in 5 years, it's looking and seeing where my agents are that were with us 5 years ago and seeing that they have a better life then, right at that exact moment than they did when they joined us. So that's my version of winning. That's the way I'm going to look at it and the success and the roles that I'll personally be judging off of.
There you go. That's simple.
Yep.
Each person that's in our organization has a better life.
That's it. It's simple, and a better life. It starts with me. If I do my job and everybody else underneath me does their job, and we hold ourselves accountable, we embody everything that we preach here every single day. Everybody should be in that position. Every single one of them. Success through others.
Success through others. Anything else you want to share about this that I haven't asked you?
No, I mean, feel pretty good about everything. Just chatting it out, man.
How about this? What time of day do you do your best work? I mean, you're fired up, man. It's later in the day today, and you still got the energy of fucking warrior. So is there a specific time that you do your best work, man?
It used to be in the morning, and now it's at night. My wife hates it. I hate it. But my brain, for some reason, I think starts firing a lot more now when I'm getting home past the bedtime hour. So, I'm able to come home, put everything down and let everything kind of stew. And then I start thinking about the day and cleaning up the day, and my mind just fires. I mean, I literally have, you look around my office, notepads, books, pens, papers everywhere. I'm a big whiteboard guy. I just like putting my things down, putting it on paper and playing with it. I like being physical with stuff. I'm old school in that setting. So, my mind now is definitely, leaning towards that end of the night. I start firing up and I start moving a little bit quicker and I start thinking bigger vision, bigger picture. So now when I'm working personally on myself or thinking in a visionary setting, as far as thinking ahead, looking towards the future, it's the majority of the times it's happening during a weekday at night, truthfully.
All right. Well, you're clear about that too. You're clear. You care. You're passionate. You got a great attitude. You make things happen. You got a culture of productivity. All right. You care. You want to bring out the best in people. Pretty deep.
Yeah, it's for me, it's all about like truthfully, I believe that. Like I think you can hear it, and I hope you can hear it in my voice. But like that's all I want. If my agents can win, I'm winning because I know our numbers. I know my numbers. I know where things have to be. I know what people have to do. We have our business built in a way that we know agents can succeed. We have every resource, every tool, every training. There's a reason why people come to the Jim Roche real estate team because they want to see success, but they want to see and feel our version of success. And that's what's attractive. That's what's attractive about us. And that's what's going to be, carrying us through the growth, through our expansion throughout the nation. Within that 5-year period that you're talking about. So keep an eye out, we'll be in a town near you soon.
Yeah, there you go, baby. All right. I love it. You got a book or you got a book or two, Jim, that you'd recommend to the audience?
Yeah. What's so funny is right now I read and I listen based off of how my mind's going. And right now, one of the biggest things that we're seeing a lot of is intelligent negotiations or winning deals for us right now. So I'm reading Never Split the Difference again. right now. And then I'm also actually going to jump into Jordan Belfort's Wolf of Wall Street. I've gotten some good reviews regarding some sales and some tactics and negotiation in that as well. So that's up on the list. But right now I like to read based off of what I'm dealing with and what my team's dealing with, so I can come up with ideas. We've been having some negotiation stuff here, so we're pouring into negotiation this month.
I love it. Man, everything's about you growing. I love that. How about let's switch it then. What about a movie? You got a movie or two that you recommend to the audience?
Black Hawk Down. That's my favorite movie of all time. You know what? And it's funny too. I don't understand why. I don't understand what it is. I obviously I've been, here at the team, we're big supporters of our military. Obviously, I think we have close to 4 or 5. I think we have 2 active military, 4 vets on our team right now, or 3 or 4 vets, I believe. That being said, it's always been, the teamwork, the camaraderie. I think the understanding for me, knowing when I was watching that movie at a young age, that how different my life is from what, somebody who may be only 10 years older from me on the other side of the world's life may be a little bit different. But, the teamwork, the camaraderie, their ability to keep battling through tough times and just being, truthfully ultimate badasses. And defending our country was one of the best things I loved about that book. So that's definitely a big movie for me. I like Forrest Gump too. I'll just throw Gump in there just to give Tom Hanks his 2 minutes of shine here,
I love it. All right, Jim, if you had to write a book tomorrow, what would you write about?
The book I'd write tomorrow, truthfully, would be about teamwork and collaboration. I think that's really where my niche is. I think I understand how to get the best out of people and make them get the best out of each other. And I would definitely write a book on teamwork. I think there's actually a class coming up about writing a book at family reunion this year that I'm definitely going to pop into, because I just, I need something else on my plate. Right, Craig?
There you go. All right. So to take us back to you're 20 years old. If you can give yourself one piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
Be patient. I think that's the biggest thing. I find myself on the other side now talking to my younger agents. I always used to be the young guy. Now I feel like I'm becoming the old guy, and I'm giving that advice now. But I would definitely say be patient. Not everything happens overnight. It's going to be about your will and your determination. But the fact is, if you have set clear goals, you have full understanding of where you want to go, and you're surrounded by people that understand your goals and have similar goals, you're going to have no problem in your life. And I can promise you that. So being patient, understanding that there's no easy button, there's no quick route, there's no hot route to get where you need to go. You got to enjoy the climb. The climb to me was the most challenging, but most rewarding, but also most educational thing that I've ever done in my life. And if I skipped that, I wouldn't have been where I was today. If someone handed me something, or, I was able to take a big leap quickly, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So I think that being patient and understanding that there's a grind, you have the battles and you have that stuff to looking ahead, just know the other side, it'll make you a much better person in business and in life because of it.
Amen. Be patient, enjoy the journey.
That's it.
So if you could pick any other profession outside of real estate to just crush it at, what would it be?
I love being a CEO. I would own a sports team. I'll be truthfully honest with you. I think I'd buy either Sixers or the Eagles. They seem to be getting a little bit more expensive, but I've always been an athlete my whole life, been a part of teams my whole life. Fortunate enough here to be, once again, I got to take the jab at you, but fortunate enough here to be in the best sports city in the world. So I figured I might as well own one of them. So I would love to be CEO of either Sixers or the Eagles, top dog up top of one of the big professional sports teams here in Philadelphia. Sorry, Craig. Not the Cowboys for sure.
We're just gonna end it with that. How about that?
That's great.
All right. So I want to thank Jim Roche again for joining us today, and a special thank you to our sponsor, ClarityNOW. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast to get in the trenches with top real estate business owners who are winning and willing to share their lessons. This has been badass. Thanks so much, Jim.
Thanks, Craig. I appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you guys soon.